going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be speaking about transfers. We're going to be deviating away from transfer updates because now that Josko Gvardiol, at the time we record this video, could be a Man City player. It might not be at the moment. It's on the verge of being completed, but isn't quite complete. By the time this goes out, it could be complete. If it is, welcome Josko. But all attention for City, now that that is done and dusted, turns towards who's next. Who are Man City going to sign? Pep Guardiola has already said Manchester City are not done in this transfer market just yet, and City could go out there and sign another player. So today we're going to have a look at who that player could be. So we're going to have a look at 5 players to look at after Manchester City have signed Josko Gvardiol. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, subscribe. We've got daily transfer videos coming for you guys to look forward to involving Manchester City. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget TikTok link in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Do leave a thumbs up as well. 300 likes is the aim. And also, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who will Man City sign next? Who's your predictions? Let me know in the comments below, and a gold star to whomever gets it correct first. Anyway, no particular order. We'll start off with the first player, and I think one player that City are having a good look at and are interested in is Jeremy Doku over at Rennes. He's probably the rawest player we're going to speak about on this video. A 21-year-old winger, can play on the left, can play on the right. He's from Belgium, lightning quick as well. Shouldn't be that expensive for Manchester City, and to me is an option when Man City are looking towards, and what I'm expecting from them in the market for City is for us to add a central midfielder and or a winger. So we might be looking at a player that can either play out wide and be a direct replacement for Riyad Mahrez, or we might be looking for a little bit more from somebody that we bring in who might be able to play in midfield and play out wide as kind of like a Bernardo backup, so to speak. Now, Doku, obviously not a central midfielder. He's a lightning quick winger who likes to take his man on. Would offer something a little bit different that Man City don't currently have in their squad. It reminds me of a very direct Phil Foden, only much quicker, and to me certainly an option if City are looking for raw players, only 21 years old as well, who we want to be able to turn into a nice little gem. If we could get him on a good deal as well, I would like the sound of Jeremy Doku, and I think certainly worth a punt for Manchester City. So given my likeliness here as a 5 out of 10, and I can be very harsh on my likeliness, so 5 out of 10 is a good score there, and I think that might be something that Man City certainly may have a look at for the remainder of this window. Now, another player that we're getting heavily linked with is Michael Olise over at Crystal Palace. Right winger, can play in the centre and midfield as well, so that ticks them boxes for Manchester City. Plays for Crystal Palace, so he's got Premier League experience, ticks that box as well. 21 years old, the right age that Man City are looking for, ticks that box. He's French, got a release clause, ticks that box. No negotiations, just pay that release clause, apparently set at £35 million. It is an easy transfer to get done, in my opinion. The complicated situation here is there's interest in him, not just from Manchester City, but from Chelsea as well. Chelsea are believed actually to be more interested than Manchester City right now. And I think one thing not to underestimate here, and it was something I think that got considered by Declan Rice when he chose to sign for Arsenal rather than consider Manchester City's offer, was he wanted to stay in London, and Michael Olise might want to stay in London as well. And if that is the case, because he already plays for Crystal Palace based in South London, he may just want to do a simple switch from South London to West London to go and play for Chelsea rather than moving 250 miles further north to come to Manchester to play for Manchester City as well. So it all depends on that. There's also a bit of a complication in terms of his injury. He's got a hamstring injury, which Man City and Chelsea have both asked about. Apparently his hamstring injury is going to keep him out until October. Should Chelsea or Man City choose to make that offer and pursue that transfer, to me a very doable transfer. So in terms of the likeliness, put it slightly ahead of Jeremy Doku. I've given it a 7 out of 10, and I think most likely transfer to happen out of the players that I'm speaking about today, I'd say Michael Olise right now probably is the most likely for Man City to make their move for. Now, another player that City are getting linked with is Moises Caicedo over at Brighton. Again, City looking to try and rival Chelsea here. He's a Brighton midfielder, 21 years old, from Ecuador. He's had a great season last season with Brighton and Hove Albion. He was their player of the season. very expensive. Apparently Brighton are asking for over £100 million to make this transfer happen. May Man City be prepared to pay the same price that they were willing to pay for Declan Rice at around £90 million? Might be enough to make the transfer happen. I'm not too sure. It may take a transfer request to maybe negotiate Brighton down. They're not the easiest to negotiate with. I've seen some describe them and they're pretty spot on when they say actually Brighton are pretty much the Premier League version of Napoli. So it makes life very difficult, particularly if you're not willing to pay their price and play their game when it comes to the transfer market. So in terms of the likeliness, I can only put it down as a 4 out of 10. But to me, with how versatile he can be, he can cover at right back and play in midfield as well. He can push forward. He's just as good defensively as he is offensively as well. He'd be a really good signing for Manchester City, and he does help improve Man City's depth and does help improve Man City's starting 11, in my complete honest opinion as well, of the good age as well that Man City would be looking for. To me, it's just all about expense and cost, and I'm not sure Man City will entertain going into negotiations with Brighton, but we can dream. We can. Anyway, moving on to another player. It's been really quiet in this window, and I'm surprised we're not getting linked more with it. Maybe later in the window we might. Thiago Almeida. I've not spoke about him in weeks, but he was, as I said, linked earlier in the window. Pretty quiet on him right now, but it could warm up once this Gvardiol deal is all done and dusted. And he could be a really good option for City because he can play on the left, on the right as a winger and play as an attacking midfielder as well, so offensively could be an option in midfield for Manchester City as well. Again, good age, 22 years old, Argentinian attacking midfielder, World Cup winner as well, got good link-up play with Julian Alvarez, give him a little buddy at Manchester City as Mateo Kovacic and Josko Gvardiol have got, so I think that'd be really good. As I said, a versatile, decent player, looks nice and sharp, plays for Atlanta over in the United States of America. I think you'd be able to get him on a really affordable deal, and I'm surprised there aren't more European clubs looking at him and prepared to take the punt on him, but is that going to happen or not? That does remain to be seen. I think the only doubt you've got here is he's never played in Europe. He's got no experience, so it would take a little bit of time to adapt, but at some point you've got to take them risks. Interesting for him to make the move from Vélez Sarsfields over in South America in Argentina to go to the United States of America rather than just transition straight across to Europe like Julian Alvarez did. That's interesting that he chose that move, but as I said, I still think it's an affordable deal that Man City could get done, and I'm surprised that we're not getting linked more and other clubs aren't getting linked as well. It is pretty quiet on there, but I thought I'd chuck a little curveball out there because why not? Now, moving on to the final player, and I put in my notes, fuck it, Leroy Sane. Let's speak about him. 27-year-old winger, lightning quick, cracking player, maturing, may want to come back. I think if Man City ever want Leroy Sane to come back, he will sit down, listen, and he'll be interested in making that happen. He knows the players already. He's good friends with some of the players. He's always coming backwards and forwards to Manchester because his wife or his girlfriend, I'm not sure if it's his wife or his girlfriend, lives over here with his kids. So he's always having to travel back to Manchester. So it solves that issue from a family side of things. And I reckon deep down, I think Leroy Sane maybe regrets his move to Bayern Munich. And whilst Pep Guardiola's here, I just don't see Leroy Sane returning. So in terms of the likeliness, I just can't give that a good score. I'd probably give that a 2 out of 10, and I'd probably I forgot to give Thiago Almeida one, I'd probably give that a 2 out of 10 as well. But to me, two unlikely players, but certainly players I think worth considering when it comes to potential incomings for Manchester City once Josko Gvardiol is over the line. But to me, I think it just suits the Premier League. He's quick, he's direct. As I said, he's maturing, so if he's got the tracking back in his game, he's prepared to listen, he's prepared to adapt his game even more, and he's prepared to work hard, because they were the big issues that Leroy Sane had. Came about attitude, being versatile and wanting to put himself out there. And he almost had, to me, he was trying too hard. And then he got frustrated, he ran his contract down, he saw a good offer, he wanted to go back to Germany and, chose to pursue that instead. And to me, since we've lost Leroy Sane and we lost Raheem Sterling, we've lost a bit of our directness when it comes to our attacks. And I think it'd be scintillating our attack. I think it'd be on fire, the link-up play between Leroy Sane and Erling Haaland. Let's not forget, Leroy Sane, to me, just as good on the right wing as he is on the left wing. So you've got good cover there for Bernardo Silva, for Jack Grealish, someone who can attack. He can play behind the striker. He's got a cracking effort on him. He's got a good set piece as well. As I said, if he's willing to work hard, adapt his game, listen to Pep, work with Pep, I don't see why we can't pursue this deal to make it happen. And to me, would be worth chance in Man City's arm, in particular if you can get him on a really good, affordable deal. But I think Man City will be stubborn here, and I think Man City will pursue rather than rather than going back. They'll go with the philosophy of never look back and sign somebody new, somebody younger, somebody more up and coming, rather than Leroy Sane. But to me, even at 27 years old, going into his prime, I think he's worth at least considering, in my complete honest opinion. So there we go. They're 5 players that I've looked at that Man City could go after. There's always a surprise name being put out there who we've not been linked with yet, so would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, gold star to whoever predicts correctly Manchester City's next signing after Josko Gvardiol. Also, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Subscribe if you're new around here. Daily Manchester City transfer updates coming throughout the rest of the summer transfer window for you guys to enjoy here on YouTube. It is free to subscribe, by the way. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description below, sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my TikTok link. Link to that is in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. And I'll see you all again real soon for the next Manchester City video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.